First Contact's Price. High Admiral Vexthor of the Nexarian Empire stood aboard the bridge of his flagship, the Eternal Dawn, his iridescent scales reflecting the dim light of distant stars. The massive vessel, adorned with the crystalline spires that marked Nexarian engineering superiority, led a fleet of 15 warships through the unexplored sector. They had been tracking an unusual energy signature for 3 standard cycles, and now they had finally found its source. A single vessel hung in the void before them, its design unlike anything in their vast database. It was relatively small, perhaps a quarter the size of the Eternal Dawn, with clean lines and a dark hull that seemed to drink in the starlight. No visible weapons, no shield emitters, nothing that suggested any serious military capability. High Admiral, his second-in-command, Sub-Commander Miralyn, approached with a data crystal. "We've completed our initial scans. The vessel appears to be of primitive design, utilizing only basic fusion drive technology. Our analysis suggests they've achieved faster-than-light travel within the last century." Vexthor's upper eyes narrowed while his lower pair focused on the mysterious ship. Life signs. Approximately 300 organic beings. The ship identifies itself as the TNS Aurora. "We believe it's an exploration vessel." TNS. Vexthor's mandibles clicked in curiosity. "Terran naval ship, High Admiral. They call themselves humans." The bridge crew watched as Vexthor processed this information. The Nexarian Empire had encountered dozens of species over their 1,000-year expansion. All had either joined their empire or been conquered by it. These humans would be no different. "Open communications," he ordered. "Let us see what manner of creatures we're dealing with." The main view screen flickered to life, revealing a human female with dark skin and silver-streaked hair. She stood straight, wearing a simple dark uniform with minimal insignia. "This is Captain Sarah Chen of the TNS Aurora. We are on a peaceful exploration mission, and I am High Admiral Vexthor of the Nexarian Empire," he interrupted, his translator converting his clicks and chirps into the human language. "You have entered territory claimed by our empire. Your vessel will power down and prepare for boarding. Your technology and resources will be cataloged and claimed for the greater glory of the Nexarian people." The human captain's expression didn't change, but something in her eyes hardened. "Admiral, I don't believe you understand. We are not in Nexarian space. Our charts show this as unclaimed territory, and we are operating under international exploration protocols." Vexthor's mandibles clicked in amusement. "You misunderstand. Primitive. All space is Nexarian space. We simply haven't claimed it yet. You have 2 minutes to comply, or we will be forced to demonstrate our superiority." Captain Chen's response was calm, measured, and in retrospect, should have been their first warning. "Admiral, I strongly urge you to reconsider. Humanity does not respond well to threats." The High Admiral gestured to his weapons officer. "A demonstration, then. Target their propulsion systems. Minimal power." The Eternal Dawn's primary beam weapon lanced out, a stream of purple energy that should have disabled the human vessel's engines. Instead, the beam seemed to twist as it approached the Aurora, bending away harmlessly into space. "What happened?" Vexthor demanded. "Unknown, High Admiral. Their hull. It's generating some kind of gravitational distortion field. We've never seen anything like it." Captain Chen's image reappeared on the screen. Her expression remained neutral, but there was something like pity in her eyes. "Admiral, that was your first and only warning shot. The Aurora is not merely an exploration vessel. It's a prototype. We wanted our first contact with alien civilizations to be peaceful, which is why we approached with minimal visible defenses. But make no mistake, we came prepared." The Aurora's hull began to shift, panels sliding away to reveal weapon ports. The dark metal seemed to ripple like water as what had appeared to be a simple exploration vessel transformed before their eyes. "By the first egg," Miralyn whispered. "Those aren't weapon ports. The entire hull is a weapon system." Vexthor had led countless conquests, but something about the human captain's calm demeanor sent a chill through his exoskeleton. All ships, open fire. Full power. Show these primitives the might of thee. He never finished the order. The Aurora moved with impossible speed, its hull now glowing with patches of blue energy. Space itself seemed to warp around it as it accelerated, passing through the Nexarian formation like a knife through silk. Each pass left two ships dead in space, their systems completely shut down by weapons that didn't seem to care about their advanced shielding. Impossible. Vexthor raged as his mighty fleet was systematically dismantled. They're barely a space-faring species. How can they? Sir, Miralin's voice was quiet. We've detected thousands of quantum communication bursts. They're not just fighting us. They're gathering combat data. We're being used to test their weapons. The realization hit Vexthor like a physical blow. The humans hadn't stumbled into this confrontation unprepared. They had been ready for exactly this kind of hostile first contact. While other species focused on expansion and colonization after achieving faster-than-light travel, humanity had apparently spent their time preparing for war. As his flagship's systems began to fail one by one, Captain Chen's final transmission came through. Admiral, your ships are disabled, but your life support systems will hold. A human fleet will arrive shortly to begin evacuation and rescue operations. When you return to your empire, deliver this message. Humanity comes in peace, but we are not defenseless. We would prefer to be friends, but we are prepared to be enemies. The choice from this point forward is yours. As the Aurora took up a watchful position among the drifting Nexarian ships, Vexthor realized that the galaxy had just changed forever. The primitives had not only defeated his fleet, they had done it with a single ship, while testing weapons they had never used in actual combat before. And somewhere out there, an entire human fleet was waiting, armed with weapons that had already proven their worth against the galaxy's most powerful empire. The age of uncontested Nexarian expansion was over. The humans had made sure of that in less than 15 minutes. The silent response. The Nexarian High Council chamber was in chaos. Dozens of council members chittered and clicked in agitation as they reviewed the combat footage from High Admiral Vexthor's encounter. The massive crystalline dome above them, usually refracting sunlight in calming patterns, seemed to pulse with their collective anxiety. Supreme Chancellor Zixtal raised all four arms, demanding silence. The ancient Nexarian's exoskeleton had long since faded from its youthful azure to a deep midnight blue, marking centuries of leadership. The humans have released our ships and crews, he announced, his voice carrying across the chamber. They provided basic repairs, medical assistance, and sent them home with a message. We await your response. First Speaker Ixel's antennae twitched nervously. What do they want? Reparations. Territory. Nothing, Zixtal replied. They have made no demands. They simply wait. The chamber erupted again until a new hologram appeared above the council floor. It showed thousands of ships appearing at the edges of Nexarian space. Not attack formations, just silent sentinels watching. Human vessels of various sizes and designs, all maintaining position just outside weapons range of Nexarian border stations. They arrived 6 hours ago, the Supreme Chancellor continued. No warnings, no threats. They simply appeared. Our long-range scans show they're using some form of dimensional slip technology we've never encountered. They can bypass our detection systems at will. The implications weren't lost on the Council. The humans could have struck anywhere in the Empire without warning. Instead, they chose to be seen. A junior council member raised her appendage. Perhaps we should demonstrate our true military might. The High Admiral's fleet was but a fraction of our forces. The Supreme Chancellor activated another hologram. This one showed detailed scans of the human vessels. Analysis of their technology suggests we are outmatched. Their ships utilize principles our scientists barely understand. Quantum-locked armor that adapts to energy weapons, gravitational manipulation that exceeds our theoretical limits, and most concerning, signs of temporal manipulation technology. The chamber fell silent. In all their centuries of expansion, the Nexarians had never encountered a species that had mastered time itself, even on a small scale. "There's more," Zixtal continued. "We've detected massive energy signatures throughout human space. They're not hiding their military installations. They're showcasing them. Dyson swarms, stellar engineering projects, and what appear to be artificial quantum singularities being used as power sources." First Speaker Ixal's color shifted to pale blue in shock. How? Their civilization only achieved faster than light travel a century ago. A new voice answered. Admiral Vexthor, just released from medical observation. His once proud posture was humbled, but his voice carried the weight of one who had seen truth firsthand. "They were ready for us," he said, stepping into the light. "Not just for Nexarians, but for any hostile force they might encounter. While we spread across the stars claiming territory, they fortified their space and developed weapons to counter technologies they hadn't even encountered yet. The ship that defeated my fleet, it was testing weapons they had never used in actual combat before, testing them against the most powerful empire in known space." The Supreme Chancellor nodded gravely. "Our intelligence suggests that when humanity first looked to the stars, they asked themselves one question. What if we're not alone? And what if they're not friendly?" Every technological advancement, every scientific breakthrough, was examined through the lens of both peaceful application and defensive capability. And now, someone asked. Now they wait. Their message is clear. They possess the power to challenge us, but prefer peace. They disabled our ships without casualties. They provided aid to our crews. Even now, their fleet maintains a defensive posture, not an aggressive one. First Speaker Ixal's color shifted again, this time to the deep green of calculation. Perhaps it's time for the Nexarian Empire to consider a new approach to galactic politics. The Supreme Chancellor turned all four eyes to the assembled council. "The humans have shown us something we haven't seen in centuries, restraint paired with overwhelming strength. They could have struck anywhere in our empire. Instead, they chose to demonstrate their power while offering peace." The chamber was silent as the implications sank in. For 1,000 years, the Nexarians had expanded through force or the threat of force. Now they faced a species that had secretly surpassed them technologically, but showed no interest in conquest, only defense and deterrence. "We will send our response," Zixtal declared. "We will acknowledge their territorial rights and propose diplomatic relations. But first, we must understand something crucial. We are no longer the most advanced species in known space. The humans achieved in a century what took us a millennium, and they did it because they were preparing for this exact moment." As the council session ended, the Supreme Chancellor watched the hologram of the waiting human fleet. They had changed the galaxy's balance of power without firing a shot in anger. Their silent response to aggression spoke volumes about their nature, prepared for war but preferring peace, capable of conquest but choosing coexistence. The age of Nexarian dominance was over, but perhaps something better could take its place. The humans had shown them another way: strength through innovation, power through preparation, and victory through restraint. Operation Lightbringer. Admiral Sarah Chen stood on the bridge of the TNS Prometheus, the first of humanity's Titan-class diplomatic vessels. At 5 kilometers long, it dwarfed the Aurora prototype, but like its smaller predecessor, its true nature lay hidden beneath layers of technological sophistication. The vessel's quantum mesh hull gleamed softly in the light of an alien sun as it led a fleet of 30 ships toward the designated meeting point. "Status report," she commanded, her voice carrying the weight of humanity's first official diplomatic mission to the Nexarian Empire. "All systems nominal." Admiral, her XO, Commander David Rodriguez, responded. "The Nexarian delegation is approaching as scheduled. Their escorts are maintaining the agreed-upon distance." Chen nodded, watching as the Nexarian diplomatic fleet emerged from faster-than-light travel. Their crystalline ships, once a symbol of unchallenged dominance, now moved with careful precision. The events of first contact had changed everything. Quantum communications from Earth Command. The comm officer announced, "Operation Lightbringer is authorized." A smile touched Chen's lips. The Nexarians had expected either retribution or standard diplomatic overtures. They were about to experience something entirely different. "Begin transmission," she ordered. The Prometheus's quantum core hummed to life, but instead of weapons, it began broadcasting on all frequencies. Complex data streams carried something unprecedented. Complete technical specifications for basic defensive technologies, freely given to the Nexarian Empire. Message from the Nexarian flagship, Rodriguez reported. "They appear confused." "Open channel," Chen commanded. The familiar face of Supreme Chancellor Zixtal appeared on the main display, his carapace shifting colors in what Chen had learned to recognize as bewilderment. "Admiral Chen," the Nexarian leader's translator conveyed, "we do not understand. These specifications, they are for defensive systems beyond our current capabilities. Why would you share such technology?" "Because, Chancellor," Chen replied, "humanity has learned something in our brief time among the stars. True security comes not from military superiority, but from mutual protection. What we're sharing is only the beginning." The Prometheus's holographic systems activated, projecting a massive display visible to both fleets. It showed a galaxy riddled with warning signs, gravitational anomalies, dimensional rifts, and things that defied standard physics. "Our quantum sensors have detected multiple threats approaching galaxy," Chen continued. "Things far worse than our petty territorial disputes. We've spent a century preparing not just for first contact, but for what lies beyond known space." The Nexarian leader's color shifted to deep purple, a sign of profound realization. "The weapons you tested against our fleet were designed to counter threats far more dangerous than the Nexarian Empire," Chen finished. "We need allies, Chancellor. Strong allies. Operation Lightbringer isn't about showing strength. It's about sharing it." As if on cue, the Prometheus began transforming. Its hull reconfigured, revealing not weapons, but massive engineering bays, research facilities, and diplomatic sectors. It was a mobile academy, designed to teach other species how to defend themselves against the horrors humanity had glimpsed in their quantum scans of deep space. "We propose an alliance," Chen declared, "not based on submission or dominance, but on mutual survival." The Nexarian Empire has centuries of experience in space travel and colonization. Combined with humanity's defensive innovations, we could create something unprecedented, a truly secure galaxy. The Supreme Chancellor was silent for a long moment, all four eyes focused on the data still streaming between the fleets. When he spoke again, his translator conveyed a tone of cautious hope. "You could have conquered us," he stated simply. "We could have," Chen agreed. "But humanity didn't come to the stars to conquer. We came to protect. Your empire's aggression forced us to demonstrate our military capability, but that was never our true purpose." The holographic display shifted again, showing plans for a massive defensive network that could encompass both human and Nexarian space. It would take decades to build, but it would create an impenetrable barrier against the cosmic horrors approaching their galaxy. "This is why we call it Operation Lightbringer," Chen explained. "We're not here to dominate or subjugate. We're here to illuminate the darkness, to prepare our galaxy for what's coming. But we can't do it alone." The Nexarian leader's color shifted to a deep gold, a rarely seen shade that indicated profound emotional impact. "You offer us partnership after we attack your vessel. We offer you redemption, Chancellor, a chance to transform your empire from conquerors to protectors. The technology we're sharing is just the beginning. Help us fortify this galaxy, and we'll help you become something greater than mere rulers of conquered worlds." The quantum sensors chose that moment to alert both fleets to a dimensional anomaly forming at the edge of the system. Something vast and dark was testing the boundaries between spaces, probing for weakness. That, Chen said quietly, is why we prepared. That is why we need each other. The question isn't whether humanity and the Nexarian Empire will fight. It's whether we'll fight each other or stand together against what's coming. Supreme Chancellor Zixtal's response would change the course of galactic history. Teach us, Admiral Chen. Teach us to protect as you do. Operation Lightbringer had begun. The galaxy's greatest empire had chosen to transform from conqueror to guardian, and humanity had gained its first true alien allies in the war for survival that loomed on the cosmic horizon. The enemy of my enemy. The observation deck of the Helios station hummed with nervous energy as representatives from 17 formerly subjugated species watched the demonstration. Through the quantum-reinforced viewport, they observed as a small fleet of hybrid vessels, human designs crewed by mixed species teams, engaged a simulation of the dimensional anomaly that had appeared 3 months ago. Dr. Maya Patel, head of the Xenological Defense Initiative, stood before the assembled delegates. Her dark eyes reflected the flashes of experimental weapons fire as the fleet executed complex maneuvers that would have been impossible just months ago. This is what cooperation looks like, she declared, gesturing to the battle simulation. Human temporal mechanics combined with Nexarian crystal technology, Ventari energy manipulation integrated with our quantum fields. Each of your species brings something unique to our defensive capabilities. The Ventari ambassador, a being of living energy contained within an engineered environment suit, pulsed with skepticism. Yet you ask us to trust the Nexarians, our former oppressors. We ask you to trust change, Maya responded. The Nexarian Empire is transforming. They've already begun dismantling their conquest protocols, converting their military installations into defensive positions that will protect all species, not just their own. A deep rumbling filled the chamber as the Kolthu representative, a massive silicon-based life form, shifted forward. The humans speak truth. My people were among the first conquered by the Nexarians, yet now we work alongside them in the quantum foundries. Their knowledge of crystal engineering, combined with human temporal science, has advanced our collective defensive capabilities by centuries. The station's sensors suddenly blared to life. This was no simulation. A massive dimensional rift was forming at the edge of the system, larger than any they'd detected before. All vessels, battle positions, Maya commanded. The hybrid fleet moved with practiced precision, taking up defensive formations around the station. This is what we've been preparing for. Show them. The rift completed its formation, and something emerged. A vast, dark mass that seemed to absorb both light and space itself. Tentacles of void energy reached out, testing the defenses of the system. By the ancient stars, the Ventari ambassador pulsed. What is that? We call them void hunters, Maya explained, her voice grim. They exist in the spaces between dimensions, feeding on the energy of entire civilizations. Humanity detected their approach a decade ago. It's why we developed most of our defensive technology. The assembled delegates watched in awe as the hybrid fleet engaged the creature. Human temporal weapons created pockets of accelerated time, aging portions of the entity's mass to dust. Nexarian crystal beams, enhanced by Ventari energy manipulation, carved through its void matter body. Kolthu gravity weapons prevented it from shifting back into its home dimension. This is just a scout, Maya continued as the creature began to disintegrate under the combined assault. There are more coming, many more. The only way any of us survive is together. The Ventari ambassador's energy field fluctuated in what Maya had learned was their equivalent of dawning comprehension. The humans didn't just change the Nexarians. They're trying to change the entire galaxy. We had to, Maya replied. When we first achieved faster-than-light travel and began detecting these threats, we knew we couldn't fight them alone. Every species in this room has something unique to offer. The Nexarians' aggression actually helped us. They united most of the galaxy's advanced species under one banner. Now we're helping transform that unity from one of subjugation to one of mutual defense. The observation deck fell silent as the hybrid fleet finished destroying the Void Hunter. The various species watched as human, Nexarian, Ventari, and Kolthu crews worked in perfect synchronization, each contributing their unique strengths to the victory. The Nexarian Empire's greatest sin was believing they had to control everything to protect themselves, Maya continued. Humanity is offering a different path, one where each species maintains its independence while contributing to our collective defense. We don't want subjects or servants. We want allies. A new hologram appeared above the chamber, showing the massive defensive network under construction throughout the galaxy. Nexarian crystal cities were being converted into shield generators. Ventari energy wells powered human temporal defense arrays. Kolthu gravity manipulators created safe zones for civilian populations. "The enemy of my enemy is my friend," the Kolthu representative rumbled, quoting an ancient human proverb. "But you have made us more than friends. You have made us equals." Maya nodded. "Because that's the only way we survive what's coming. The Void Hunters are just the beginning. Our long-range quantum scans have detected worse things stirring in the dark between galaxies. We need every species, every unique perspective, every different approach to science and warfare." The Ventari ambassador's energy field stabilized into the pattern that indicated a formal decision. The Ventari collective votes to join this alliance. "Our energy manipulation technology is yours to adapt." One by one, the other species representatives made similar declarations. Even those who had suffered the most under Nexarian rule could see the greater threat and the genuine change in their former oppressors. As the delegates began discussing the practical details of integration, Maya received a quantum communication from Admiral Chen. More rifts were forming in other sectors. The Void Hunters were increasing their incursions, but now, for the first time, the galaxy was ready to face them together. Humanity had achieved something unprecedented, not through conquest or dominance, but by offering each species a chance to be part of something greater than themselves. The war for survival was coming, but they would fight it as equals, each contributing their unique strengths to the defense of all. Dawn of a new era. The galactic core blazed in the distance as the combined fleet of 30,000 ships held position around the largest dimensional rift ever detected. Ships of every design and species moved in perfect coordination. Human temporal battleships, Nexarian crystal dreadnoughts, Ventari energy cruisers, and Kolthu gravity destroyers. Each vessel was a testament to what cooperation could achieve. Admiral Sarah Chen stood on the bridge of the TNS Prometheus, now upgraded with technology from a dozen different species. The quantum display showed thousands of rifts opening across the galaxy, but for the first time, they were ready. "All defense networks active," Commander Rodriguez reported. "The Nexarian crystal barriers are at full power. Ventari energy matrices are stable. Kolthu gravity anchors are holding." Chen nodded, remembering how this all began with a single encounter between a human prototype vessel and an overconfident Nexarian fleet. Now, just 18 months later, the galaxy had transformed beyond recognition. "Message from the Nexarian flagship," the comm officer announced. "Supreme Chancellor Zixtol requests open channel." The Nexarian leader appeared on screen, his carapace now bearing the mixed insignia of both his empire and the Galactic Defense Alliance. "Admiral Chen, our quantum precognitives confirm. This is it. The main Void Hunter fleet. All those years preparing," Chen mused. "All that technology we developed, hoping we'd never need it. Are the civilian populations secured?" "The combined shield network is operational," Zixtol confirmed. "Every inhabited system is protected by overlapping fields of temporal, crystal, energy, and gravitational defenses. We are ready." The rift before them pulsed, expanding to impossible dimensions. The void beyond was filled with movement, countless Void Hunters, each larger than the scout they'd destroyed months ago. But they weren't alone. Behind them came things worse than any human nightmare, creatures of antimatter, beings of pure temporal discord, entities that existed in multiple dimensions simultaneously. All ships, Battle Formation Omega. Chen commanded, "Remember your training. Remember why we're here. This isn't about one species or one empire anymore. This is about life itself." The fleet moved as one, taking up positions that would have been impossible before their technologies were combined. Human temporal fields merged with Nexarian crystal matrices, creating weapons that could age a void hunter to dust while trapping it in unbreakable crystal. Ventari energy beams, stabilized by Kolthu gravity manipulation, carved through dimensional barriers. "They're coming through," Rodriguez reported as the first wave of void entities emerged into normal space. Chen's voice carried across all frequencies, reaching every ship in the fleet. This is what humanity prepared for. Not conquest, not domination, but survival. Not just our survival, but everyone's. Show them what unity can achieve. The battle that followed would be remembered for millennia to come. The combined fleet moved with impossible precision, each species' technology complementing the others perfectly. When the Void Hunters tried to phase through normal space, they were caught in temporal nets. When they attempted to feed on energy signatures, they found their sustenance transformed into crystalline poison. When they sought to retreat, gravity wells held them in place. Hour after hour, the fleet held its ground. The Prometheus's quantum core pulsed with power as it coordinated the defense of an entire galaxy. Every time a ship was damaged, others would move to protect it, regardless of species or origin. Former enemies fought side by side, their past conflicts forgotten in the face of extinction itself. Then, at the height of the battle, Chen gave the order they'd been waiting for. Operation Sunforge, execute. Across the galaxy, massive installations built by all species working together activated simultaneously. The quantum network they'd created didn't just defend, it could reshape reality itself. Temporal fields accelerated the evolution of spacetime. Crystal matrices rewrote the fundamental laws of physics. Energy barriers became dimensional walls. The Void Hunters found themselves trapped in a galaxy that had changed its own rules of existence. Their natural abilities no longer functioned. Their dimensional rifts collapsed. Their very essence began to break down under laws of physics they couldn't comprehend. Message from Earth Command. Rodriguez announced as the last Void Hunter disintegrated. Additional quantum scans confirm. The dimensional barriers are holding. No more rifts are forming. We did it. The bridge erupted in cheers. Human, Nexarian, Ventari, and Kolthu celebrating together. But Chen's attention was drawn to a private message from Supreme Chancellor Zixtal. "You knew," the Nexarian leader said quietly. "From the moment your Aurora encountered my fleet, you knew this day was coming. You needed us united, needed our different perspectives and technologies combined." Chen smiled. "What we needed was to stop fighting each other and start fighting together. Humanity didn't come to the stars to conquer, Chancellor. We came to unite, because only together could we survive what lurked in the void." The quantum displays showed celebration erupting across the galaxy. Species that had been mortal enemies now embraced as brothers in arms. The Nexarian Empire had transformed from conquerors to guardians. Ancient grievances were forgotten in the shared triumph of survival. "A new era begins today," Chen declared to the assembled fleet. "Not one of empires or territories, but of cooperation and mutual protection. We faced extinction itself and proved that our differences are our strength. Let this victory be remembered not as the day we destroyed our enemies, but as the day we truly became one galaxy." As the fleet began its victory formation, the Prometheus's quantum sensors detected something new. Other galaxies reaching out, seeking contact. They had witnessed the battle, seen what unity could achieve. Humanity's transformation of enemies into allies had not just saved their galaxy, it had caught the attention of the entire universe. The dawn of a new era had truly begun, and it started with a single human ship refusing to fight an empire alone.